I am a foster mom. I've been running this small foster home for 6 years now. I grew up as an orphan. Hence, I feel bad for every kid who is left to live without parental care. A friend of mine runs an NGO that helps these foster kids to get adopted to a loving, caring family at times. My name is Michelle, and this is a story of a new kid whom I just took under foster care. It was a Tuesday morning. I was making breakfast for my other kid, a 9-year-old girl who is also under my shelter. I was busy making pancakes when Jenny said from the other room, "Mommy, your phone is ringing. Someone's calling you." I realized I left my mobile in a hurry in the bedroom, so I ran to get it. I was late, hence the call got disconnected before I could pick up. When I returned, I saw Jenny was all dressed to leave for school and waiting for breakfast. I quickly served her the pancake. "Here you go, Jenny. I made your favorite." She smiled and started to eat them. 10 minutes later, her school bus arrived. I walked her to the bus and she waved me goodbye. I was about to enter when my phone rang again. This time, I rushed to pick it up. It was my friend Kate, who runs the NGO. "Hey Kate, sorry I couldn't take your call earlier. Jenny just left for school." "No problem. Listen, there's a boy about to arrive in our NGO. He's 7 years old and unfortunately recently lost his parents in a plane crash. The boy has an uncle working overseas, so there's a chance he might go up for adoption. But until that happens, I want you to take care of him. I'll come by with the lawyer and other legal papers tomorrow, and also drop off the kid to your house. Is that okay?" "Oh, sure. Tomorrow evening I'm free." "Tomorrow evening it is then. See you." After the phone call, I went to buy some groceries for tomorrow's dinner. I felt emotional thinking about this poor little child who just lost his parents. I wanted to give him a warm welcome, so I decided to cook something nice. I bought some good quality meat, some fresh veggies, sweets, and chocolate. When Jenny came back from school, I sat her down and said, "Jenny, tomorrow we are going to have another member in this house. A little boy will come and live with us." Jenny got so excited and said, "Wow, I can have a little brother now." I smiled and hugged her for being such a sweet girl. The next day, Jenny and I decorated the entire house with balloons and colorful paper chains. At around 7 p.m., the doorbell rang. Jenny rushed towards the door and opened it with a big smile. Kate was standing there with a small, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy, and beside them stood a man in his late 50s. I guessed him to be the lawyer of the boy. "Please, come on in," I said with joy. They all came and sat down in the living room. Kate looked at Jenny and said, "You're becoming such a pretty girl." Jenny blushed in happiness. She then looked at the little boy and said, "You're my little brother, right?" We all laughed hearing her adorable words, except the little boy. He sat down like a robot, didn't talk, didn't smile, even for once. Kate said, "Luke, say hi to your sister. This is going to be your home now. You'll be very happy here." Luke looked at me and said in a lifeless voice, "Who is she?" "Oh, that's Michelle. She's going to be your best friend from now on," Kate replied. I smiled at him, but he kept staring at me lifelessly. His face was so blank that after some time his stare started to make me feel weird. We all discussed the legal terms and condition and the details of this procedure. It was good to know that Luke's parents have left him enough money to have a sustainable life ahead. He can go to college and avail all the opportunities without any disturbance. When Kate was leaving, she bid Luke goodbye. Luke didn't go to hug her once. He stood there some time while Kate got into the car and then went back to the couch in the living room. I slowly went and sat beside him. I knew how much trauma this kid had gone through, so I said in a soft voice, "Luke, do you want to get some ice cream?" He kept his head down and didn't answer. Jenny said, "Maybe he's tired, Mommy." I smiled and said, "I guess you're right. You keep watching, Luke. I'll go make your bed." I heard Luke asking her, "Is she your real mom?" Jenny smiled and said, "No, but I like calling her my mommy. She's nice. She's going to take good care of us." I prepared their beds. I arranged a bunk bed for both of them. Jenny slept on the upper bunk, and I tucked in Luke in the lower bunk. I kissed them goodnight, and Luke turned to the other side of the wall. I went to my room and lied down in the bed. I don't remember the exact time, but I woke up with a strange feeling. With my sleepy eyes, I saw Luke standing right in front of me and breathing heavily. The entire room was in complete darkness. I thought he might be feeling sick, so I turned on the bedside lamp and almost screamed in fear. Luke was standing there, looking at me, except his eyeballs were pale white. I don't know how, but his eyes were turned upside down, revealing the pale white part. I spoke in a fumbled voice. "Luke? What happened to you?" He blinked once. "My mom is calling me. She's waiting for me in that blue house. My mom. She keeps calling for me." I picked him up from the ground, shouting, "Jenny! Jenny!" Jenny came running. "What happened, Mommy?" "Call Aunt Kate right now! Please, just call her!" Jenny called Kate, but she didn't answer the call. I put Luke on the bed. I got so scared that I couldn't sleep the entire night. Jenny also remained awake with me the whole time. The next morning, when Luke woke up, I asked him, "Do you remember what happened last night?" Luke stared at me, not saying a word. Kate came to see him within some hours after receiving my message. She sat him down and said, "Luke, sweetie, you have to understand that your mom and dad are in heaven now. They're watching you from there. Unfortunately, they can't come here." She wasn't my real mom. We were all shocked to hear this little boy say such a weird thing. Kate and I exchanged a surprised look. "Sweetie, what are you saying? She was your mom. She loved you." "My mom is in that blue house. She's waiting for me there. Can you please take me there?" None of us was getting what was going on with this child. Out of curiosity, I asked, "Do you know where this blue house is?" Luke replied, "Yeah, I can take you there." What happened next was beyond our expectation. Kate and I thought the best way to help this child would be to do what he says. He probably wants us to go outside. Children can do weird things for weird reasons sometimes. So, we all hopped into my car and I started the engine. Luke sat right beside me and said, "Take the first left." Trust me guys, he gave me directions like an adult for at least half an hour. And beyond our imagination, after taking the last right turn, we came near a huge lake. On the side of that lake stood a small wooden blue house. We got out of the car and walked towards the main door. Kate knocked on the door twice. We heard slow footsteps inside the house. Within a few seconds, an old woman opened the door. She looked quite like my granny. With surprised eyes, she noticed all of us and said, "Who are you all? Did you make my favorite bread pudding, Mama?" The old woman immediately looked at him and started to sob terribly. She hugged him to her chest and kept crying for hours. We came to know that later, the woman had a son who was in the army. The son often came during holidays to visit her. One morning, she got the news from the army general that her son died like a hero in the war 2 days earlier. His name was Sam. Sam died on the 21st of December, on the same day Luke was born. It might seem like a weird coincidence, but every time Sam came to visit his mom, the first thing he would say was, "Did you make my favorite bread pudding, Mama?" and hug the poor old woman. Luke roamed around the house, telling us very unnatural details which only a member of that house could know. And the even more terrifying thing is that the old woman showed us her son's childhood picture. It was none other than Luke.